Narcissists are often known for their controlling nature and insatiable desire for attention. They frequently employ manipulative tactics to attract attention or make you feel confused and anxious. One such tactic is the calculated act of withdrawing to see if you'll chase after them. But what happens when you refuse to play this game? When you decide to ignore them and not meet their expectations? Will they give up? Or will they switch to other tactics to continue pulling you into their vortex? In this video, we'll explore 6 typical reactions of narcissists when they don't get the attention they crave. Remember, how they react also depends on your role in their life, the level of attachment in the relationship, and even how much they've invested in manipulating you. Let's embark on this journey to expose the narcissist through this video to better understand how they truly operate and how you can protect yourself. Number 1. Ignoring you back. The narcissist's tactic to maintain control. Narcissists are obsessed with controlling and manipulating the emotions of others. They constantly seek to reinforce their superior position in any relationship by creating situations that force you to react. One of their common tactics is to ignore you, not because they don't care, but because it helps them maintain psychological power in the relationship. When you feel confused or hurt by their silence, you become more likely to seek clarification or try to re-establish connection. This is precisely their goal: to keep you in a state of imbalance and continuously dependent on their attention. For them, controlling your emotional responses is not only a way to assert themselves, but also a tool to maintain the artificial world they have constructed. If you don't respond to the narcissist's game, they will quickly seek another source of emotional supply. However, they don't completely let go of you. Instead, they often silently monitor you, especially through social media, to ensure they can still grasp your emotions and actions. If you post something that shows you're doing well, it might irritate them. However, instead of accepting reality, they may try to find a way back or implement new tactics to regain your attention. As time passes and their ignoring doesn't bring you back, they may send you meaningless messages to check in. This usually happens when they sense that ignoring is no longer effective and they need a new tactic to pull you back in. Because if you decide to stop playing their game and focus on your own recovery, the narcissist will feel a loss of control, something they deeply fear. Number 2. The Hoover maneuver. Narcissists and their game of reclaiming attention. After ignoring you and receiving no reaction, the narcissist will often initiate the Hoover maneuver. This term, inspired by the vacuum cleaner, refers to their attempt to suck you back into their emotional vortex. This does not stem from genuine remorse or a desire to repair the relationship, but rather an effort to regain the psychological control they feel slipping away. The narcissist may appear unexpectedly in places you frequent, seemingly by chance, but in reality, every action is carefully planned. They might send messages, make phone calls, or post content on social media aimed at you, with the goal of grabbing your attention. Through sweet talk, promises of change, or even displays of vulnerability, they try to evoke sympathy, curiosity, or guilt within you. Some narcissists will employ the love-bombing tactic, suddenly becoming unusually attentive. They may offer compliments, apologies, or romantic gestures to convince you that things can change. This is how they attempt to regain your trust, but the ultimate goal is not to build a healthy relationship, but to return you to the position of dependence they previously established. The narcissist's behavior does not come from love or respect. When you don't chase them, it makes them feel a loss of power, bruising their fragile ego. To soothe this feeling, they are willing to switch to a chase you strategy, but not because they genuinely care. Number 3. Manipulative messages, a narcissist tool to gauge control. A narcissist often sends seemingly ordinary messages that conceal a deeper purpose. For instance, they might write, "Can you send me A's phone number? I really need it." Their goal is not just to obtain information, but to gauge your reaction. Through this, they learn, whether you respond or not. The speed of your response, fast or slow, what your reply reveals about your susceptibility to their influence. These factors provide them with a clear picture of how much control they still hold over you and whether you remain within their sphere of influence. Interestingly, narcissists often fail to realize that you might have become aware of their manipulative behavior. They continue to employ old tactics that have worked for them in the past with you or others. They particularly target those who are empathetic or readily react in ways they expect. If you respond immediately or within a short time, this will be carefully noted by them. They pay attention not only to the speed but also analyze the content of your response to assess how easily you still comply with their requests. All this data becomes a tool to further control and manipulate you. Narcissists are adept at decoding signals from your actions and reactions. This is a skill they have honed over time to maintain a position of control in relationships. For example, if you quickly send the phone number or fulfill their request, they will see it as proof that you are still easily influenced. Conversely, if you respond late or ignore them, they will switch to a different tactic to approach you or adjust their approach to achieve their goal. Being aware of these behaviors is the first step in protecting yourself from manipulation. Don't let your habit of responding or your empathy become a tool for them to continue controlling you. Number 4. Deploying flying monkeys. Narcissists and their proxies. After gauging your level of interest and finding it unsatisfactory to their insatiable ego, narcissists often resort to subtle tactics to approach you. One such tactic involves deploying flying monkeys, intermediaries sent to gather information. These individuals may appear unexpectedly, feigning concern, asking questions, or simply wanting to check in on you. In reality, they are wittingly or unwittingly carrying out the task of gathering intelligence, from your emotional state to your level of vulnerability, to report back to the narcissist. Based on this information, the narcissist will plan their re-entry into your life with maximum effectiveness. Their goal is not reconciliation or healing, but to restore control and ensure that only they have the power to end the relationship. For them, your autonomy and separation are unacceptable, because in their minds you are not an independent individual, but merely an extension of their fragile ego. When using intermediaries proves ineffective, the narcissist may contact you directly, exploiting your compassion and the belief that things can be resolved through dialogue. They will use seemingly sincere words like, "We should talk," to clear up any misunderstandings, or "This is crazy, let's fix it," to lure you into a meeting. Initially, they may appear positive and constructive, even speaking of a bright future together. However, these promises are quickly replaced with blame and arguments designed to make you feel responsible for the relationship's problems. They often falsely claim that your controlling behavior or your departure is the reason things went wrong. While they may appear to seek compromise, in reality it's just another ploy to soften you up and return you to a state of vulnerability. If you are not aware of the nature of narcissistic personality disorder, these tactics can trap you in an emotional whirlwind and leave you susceptible to further control. Number 5. Punishing, the smear campaign. When your attention shifts away from them, the narcissist's actions become even more aggressive. In their world, no longer being the center of your life equates to failure. In response, they often launch a smear campaign, a calculated act to punish you and restore the sense of power they are losing. The primary goal of a smear campaign is not just to inflict pain, but to manipulate public opinion around you. The narcissist will spread lies, rumors, or distorted stories, attempting to tarnish your image in the eyes of others. They want those around you, friends, family, or colleagues, to turn against you, creating a sense of isolation and depriving you of your support system. This serves two major purposes for the narcissist. Soothes their insecurity. They cannot bear the thought of you no longer being under their influence, so manipulating others' perceptions helps them feel they still have some control over your life. Pressures you to return. By tarnishing your reputation, they hope to create a hostile environment where you feel lonely and vulnerable, forcing you to seek them out for explanations or reconciliation. Narcissists are often skilled at crafting smear campaigns. They know how to exploit your personal information or take minor incidents and exaggerate them into negative narratives. They may even portray themselves as the victim in the relationship, eliciting sympathy from others and turning them against you. Their actions are usually carried out subtly, through seemingly harmless conversations that contain negative insinuations and innuendo about you. They may approach people close to you, sow seeds of doubt, or even fabricate completely false stories to undermine you. A smear campaign not only damages your reputation but also significantly impacts your mental well-being. When isolated or deprived of support from important people, you may feel lost and want to defend yourself. However, this is precisely the trap the narcissist desires. They want you to react to prove they still have influence over you. Number 6. Seeking new supply. Moving on when you're no longer interesting. When the supply they get from you dries up, narcissists can quickly lose interest and move on to seek others who fulfill their need for attention. This happens because narcissists prioritize their ego and personal gratification over any relationship. If you no longer meet their demands, they deem you unworthy of their time and energy, believing someone else out there will readily provide what you don't. This rejection not only angers them but also creates a deep wound in their narcissistic pride, as they often see themselves as superior and cannot accept failure in controlling your emotions. Narcissists feel their self-esteem bolstered when someone chases after them, and your refusal to do so can trigger anger and a sense of humiliation. In their mind, you have broken the unspoken rule. They must always be the center of attention. They expect you to beg for their attention or try to reconnect, but when that doesn't happen, their rage erupts. They may react by devaluing you, insulting you, or even blaming you for the situation. Their harsh words and retaliatory actions are not aimed at resolving the issue, but at punishing you for daring to defy their expectations. This behavior reflects a crucial truth about narcissists. They don't genuinely care about you as an independent individual, but rather see you as a tool to bolster their ego. When you refuse to play that role, they not only become angry but also seek to hurt you as punishment for your disobedience. Understanding this will help you avoid getting caught in their manipulative cycle and protect yourself from unnecessary pain. When you stop chasing a narcissist, you may face a range of negative reactions, from indifference and seeking new supply to anger and retaliation. However, it's crucial to remember that this is not a failure, but the first step towards reclaiming control of your life. Narcissists thrive on manipulating and controlling others' emotions, and when you refuse to play by their rules, you disrupt the toxic cycle they've established. Whether they try to lure you back or retaliate to punish you, stand your ground and protect your self-worth. Recognizing their motives and tactics is key to avoiding their manipulative traps. Focus on rebuilding your confidence, establishing healthy boundaries, and seeking support from trustworthy people in your life. Breaking free from a narcissist's influence is not easy, but it's a worthwhile journey. You deserve to live in freedom, peace, and respect, where you are the center of your own life, not a tool to serve someone else's ego. Stay strong in your decision, as it's the only way to truly liberate yourself and move forward.